Hello and welcome to another plan with me. This week I'm memory planning. I didn't even put the dates on there. I just realized. Hold on. February 9th to the 14th. Do y'all say February or February? Because this is a hot debate in our school. We teach our grade twos how to spell the word February, and we came across the dilemma that people pronounce it differently. I'm just curious. I say February. I don't pronounce the R, that first R that's in there. Sorry, that's not important. And I made a mistake. I meant February. I'm trying to say the R now. February 9th to the 15th, not the 14th. This was the week of Valentine's Day, and I'm using this kit from Cinderella Paper Co. I don't know if there was a name for it. I don't think so, but it is Valentine's themed. Actually, it does say Happy Valentine's Day on one of the boxes, so it is meant for Valentine's week, I suppose. And Valentine's Day also happens to be my dad's birthday, so there was all that. And this week was when I got really super duper sick. So the week before this is when I started to feel sick on the Sunday, and it just really hit me completely, threw me out of whack this week. And it was annoying because this was my first official week in my new position that I didn't even get to really experience yet. Like, I went to work on Monday and then, I was just off for the rest of the week. Yeah, it was really super brutal. Was not happy, was not having it, and was not in a very good headspace because I was stressing about it. They couldn't find out what was wrong with me. It was just a whole thing. I feel like I might have mentioned last week a little bit about it, or maybe I was just talking to someone, I can't remember, but yeah, on Sunday, I went to go see the doctor, and he prescribed me these pills that gave me really severe insomnia and side effects that just affected everything, and I could not function. It was horrible. I've never experienced anything like that in my life, and so, like, I only took one dosage, and then I was supposed to take one more, but I told him I didn't want to, and he said, "No, then if you're experiencing that many side effects, then you don't have to." It was just, ugh, I could not, like, even looking back at my plans and I'm seeing how many times I napped, it was like, I just remember the feeling, it was horrible. And I'm not a napper per se, like, I'm not someone who likes to nap or who even can nap most of the time, so, yeah, I took so many naps this week, which was really weird, and then they were long naps, they were, like, 3 to 4 hours, they were completely, like, just really long naps, and when I woke up, I felt super, like, hungover and groggy, and it was just, it was so awful. And yeah, that was, like, pretty much my week. I did play a lot of games because I was trying to stay awake, and, I also got really oh yeah, the other thing too was that medication, like, the one dosage that I took, it affected my immune system. He explained it, and then I researched a little bit about it, like, I should have done this beforehand, but I researched about it, and apparently that it doesn't make you sick, but it opens up your immune to be prone to be sick really easily. So I got really sick as well, like with a cold or something that felt like a flu. And yeah, it was so bad. Anyways, here I am just putting down the sidebar, and I'm going to be getting into the day by day. Starting off on Monday, the first thing I'm marking is that I read, and I'm using this book from Curls Creations. Then to mark work, I'm using this girl on a laptop from Starlight Paper Co. To mark that I went for a walk after work, I'm using a shoe from the Prairie Planner. And then to mark cuddles that evening, I'm using this munchkin, or these munchkins rather, from Once More with Love. To mark playing Superstore Stimulator on Xbox, I'm using this girl from Papershire. To mark watching Fallout, I'm using a TV from the Prairie Planner. And then moving on to Tuesday when everything freaking started. So to mark waking up with really bad side effects, I'm using this emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. And then to mark I went back to the clinic, I'm using this doctor emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. And then after I seen the doctor, I came home and took a nap, and I'm using this paper and milk Maru, I think that's what they're called, to mark that. And then I woke up and did some reading, so I'm using another book from Curls Creation. And then I just played games pretty much, I wouldn't say all day, but most of the day, majority of the day. And that controller sticker is from the Prairie Planner. And then we went to get Popeyes, so I'm using this chicken bucket from, what's that shop called again? Simply a Mess. And then to mark YouTube that evening, I just did a binge that is from Alley Cat Shop. I started watching, re-binging a bunch of YouTube videos from a YouTuber named CNanners, who was like the first video game content creator that I ever watched. So it was putting me in a good mood. Moving on to Wednesday. This is either from the Coffee Monsters Co. or Once More with Love, but it's a head that is very angry. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning this morning and could not fall back asleep for the life of me. It was just like I was wide awake, super annoyed, and my husband wasn't even sleeping yet, so we were kind of like visiting. But I managed to fall back asleep, I think at like 4, almost 5. I don't know. It was wild. And then to mark that I like woke up again. This is from the Coffee Monsters Co. This emoji like beating up his alarm clock. And then I started playing this game. What is it called? Sleeping Beauty Puzzle Hidden Objects or something. It's on Xbox. I just wanted something like relaxing and comforting to play, and this game was actually frustrating as hell. So I was like, whatever. But that Sleeping Beauty sticker is from Stick with the Plan Co. And then to mark that I took a nice long hot bath, I'm using this bath bomb from the Sticker Party. And then to mark that I had a really bad headache. I think this is a Munchkin from Once More with Love, but using that to mark that, yeah, I had a really, really bad headache. It was so horrible. And then just played some games after my headache subsided, and I'm using a controller from the Prairie Planner. And then to mark some more reading for the evening, I'm using a book sticker from Carl's Creations once again. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I'm marking with this emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. is that I woke up in so much pain. The best way I can describe it is this, like, I woke up and my whole body was completely sore and achy, and my back was hurting really bad. And so, yeah, went back to the clinic. So I'm using another emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. doctor to mark that I went to go see the doctor again. And it happened to be a different doctor this time, but they can still see your records and everything. So I told him everything that was going on and the pills that I was prescribed and I was like, at first I was just like, am I dying? Like, is all? And he said, no, these side effects that I'm just having are really, really, really bad, I guess. And wasn't really reassuring, but anyway, went to get a Starbucks. I'm using this Mixie Cat Frappuccino sticker. Then I took another nap using another Maru sticker from the Paper and Milk Shop. And then just to mark that I was sick AF, I'm using an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Then I played games using another Paper Shire Girl. And then to mark Happy Mail, I got something from Amazon. So I'm using this Amazon sticker from Carl's Creation. Don't remember what it was, but it made me happy because I was sick. Sorry if you can hear creaking. There's like my upstairs neighbors are walking around. They're not usually loud or anything, but I can actually hear them quite a bit this evening. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I'm marking with this emoji that has like achy bones. Yep, that was me. Woke up again really sore and achy, so I'm just using that emoji to mark that. And then to mark that I pulled stickers, I'm using this girl from Tamashi Prints. And then I played some games, so I'm using another controller sticker from the Prairie Planner. And then I watched Fallout, and I'm thinking that this Paper Shire sheet is for like Stranger Things, but I stopped watching that show, so I'm just pulling stickers for that for Fallout now. And then we went to Dairy Queen, so I'm using this Awana story. And then I just rested. So I'm using this sticker. I think it's from Once More with Love. Like, I think it's a munchkin just all bundled up looking at their phone. Anyway, moving on to Saturday. The first thing I'm marking that it was my dad's birthday, so I'm using this munchkin from Once More with Love to mark that. And then I slept in. I think this was the latest that I slept in. I think I woke up at like 11 or something crazy like that. So using this Maru sticker again from Paper and Milk to mark that I was feeling a little bit better by like lunchtime or 1 o'clock. I just noticed that I was feeling better than before, like I wasn't sore anymore. I'm using this little head that says yay. To mark that, we went for lunch with my dad at Edo. I'm using this girl from Papershire. We paid for his lunch, and that's where he wanted to go. And I wasn't going to say no. I love Edo so much. And personally, I probably would have picked somewhere more expensive to eat with, but I mean, that's just my dad. My dad's very humble. And then to mark, we went to get Tim's. I'm using these bunnies from Papershire. And then to mark gaming out again, using another controller from the Prairie Planner. Moving on to Sunday, first thing I'm marking is I went for breakfast. I'm using this emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. And then I took another nap. I can't remember where that nap sticker is from. And then I played games using another Papershire girl to mark that. Did some planning using this bow from Simply a Mess, I believe. To mark groceries using this grocery cart from the Prairie Planner. To mark McDonald's using this McDonald's sticker from the Sticker Party. And then to mark YouTube using a play button from Alley Cat Shop. It was funny because that morning I went for breakfast. I woke up at like 5, I think, or something crazy. So I went for breakfast and came home. I came home about 8, and my husband usually sleeps in really late, but he was up and he's like, "Did you go for breakfast without me?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry." Because usually he sleeps until like 10 or whatever. So I was busted and he was pretending to be mad at me, but we're past it now. I took him out for supper that evening. So yeah, that is my week. I hope you have a great week coming up and hope everyone's doing amazing. And thank you for stopping by.